Welcome, come one, come all, to Cosmere Talk. That was an exaggerated intro, but I'm sticking with it. I don't like doing two takes. I just like giving the real media. And in this episode of Cosmere Talk, we're going to talk about where would you want to live in Cosmere. Obviously, we're doing full spoilers for Cosmere Talk, so unless you feel confident that you can listen to this and not have anything spoiled for you, I would recommend you chill out, you bounce. But I haven't even read a couple of Cosmere things. So let's just go on in. Let's dive on into it. Or as Philip DeFranco would say, let's jump on into it. So we're going to go over some of the other comments that were unrelated to the main comment thread first. Also, just a lot of people thanking me for keeping Cosmere Talk going. So that's, you're welcome. I enjoy doing it. And it's not my most viewed show. Last one's only sitting at about 756 views. I don't know if I can keep this going, if it's going to continue to perform so poorly. I hope it improves. Do what you can to support it, Try and spread the word. But to Jasmine Awari, who called me daddy material, thanks. That's just basically my only response I can say there. That's PG. But I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. And to the Jaime Lannister who's in the comments section, where's my Westeros, bro? Westeros speak. I do not know Game of Thrones well enough. I'm sorry. It's not going to be in the future, or at least not in the near future, until I finish the series and maybe even do another full reread. And this is just largely coming down to the fact that I just don't know the series as well as I know Cosmere or Wheel of Time or even, frankly, Witcher. I've never finished it. I've gotten almost all the way through once, and I'm almost all the way through again. And one of my next reviews after Witcher will be the next Game of Thrones book, so that's coming through nice and strong there for you. To Ryan Ratchford, again, you're welcome. And I wished you a happy long life last episode. How's that going? It's been a while, so I hope it's going well. I hope it's still happy and long. To Gots Kills, GOTSKILZZ. One of these days you will answer my question. Thumbs up, smiley face. Hey, it looks like I might. Maybe this time I'll start it off with a on-topic discussion with question. What I would live in Roshar. This is kind of a response to the question I asked the last Cos Talk. So I was going to go ahead and jump on into these, even though you didn't respond to the pinned comment, man. You got to respond to the pinned comment. That's how you get me to answer your question. Now you know the answer. Now you know why you're not getting the responses. Anyway, I would live in Roshar in the Pure Lakes just because it seems like a fun, chill place away from a lot of the fighting. Yeah, that's a good response. Now I'm not going to answer your other question. No, I'm kidding. Number 2, what do you think of Wit from Stormlight? What is he? Thank you so much. Love you. Bye. I know exactly who Wit is, guys. It's way deeper than you think. I have strings, red string going from picture to pictures on my walls. I figured it out. Are you ready for this? I know precisely who Wit is. It's a deep conspiracy going back decades, before the Cosmere was even begun being written. In fact, it's tied into a whole other fantasy series. Wit is Tom Maryland at a younger age, just exploring, just hanging out, just doing his thing. That's how he got so good. It's factual. I got that from the bird's mouth, from Brandon Sanderson himself. Yeah, I'm telling the truth here. There's no sarcasm. No sarcasm. 100% legitimate. It's just Tom Maryland at a younger age. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to keep that in or not. That was the dumbest joke ever. From Andrew T. Hi, Danny. Andrew, my name is Daniel. I do not like being called Danny. Dan. D-Man. Dan the Man. D. Neil? I've had some people call me Neil. That's not short for Daniel. That's a separate name. Not Daniel Kiss. Not Daniel Analyst. I've heard it all. Name's Daniel. People who have names that don't get changed up, like Andrew. Maybe you get called Andy occasionally. How about if I call you Andy, Andrew? How about I call you A-Man? A-Rod? I don't know. Okay, I'm being a jerk. Anyway, hey, Danny. I like Vin. She's okay, but she becomes more and more annoying because of Elend and their relationship. Elend is my least favorite character in the whole of Cosmere. Also, I don't think she's a strong enough character to be a main protagonist, and I don't think she or anyone can come close to filling a hole left by Kelsier, who is one of the best Cosmere characters. See, okay. I want you to justify this, because people say this all the time without actually talking about Kelsier. Kelsier was around for 3/4 of a book, and he's also in the Secret Histories, which I have not read, but that's kind of like when someone's like, oh, you haven't watched the Star Wars movies, you need to read this book to get it. Guess what? I'm not doing that right now, and I don't think it's a valid argument for the main Mistborn First Era books, because those are what most people read. So defending Kelsier's character with those books, why is he so much better than Vin? Someone who we get the internal dialogue, who has conflicts, evolution, is really interesting. Kelsier, on the other hand, is cool, because he's kind of a badass fighter who's got some morally gray beliefs. That makes him interesting, and okay. But there's very little growth, very little depth beyond that. There's a bit of a mysterious past, and I'm not saying he's a bad character. I'm just saying compared to Vin, someone who evolves, has so much more internal conflict, so much more realism to them, I don't get the argument that Kelsier is more interesting than her. He's just he's cool, he's morally gray, he's a decent leader. It's something we've seen many times before. He maybe has a couple characteristics that set him apart a bit from the crowd, but it's just my opinion. And that right there is how you lose your Cosmere Talk audience in one argument. But we're moving on. I know I probably just pissed off some people. Whatever. It's the internet. I'll pretend to read your comment. No, that was mean. I do read your comments, guys. From the Game Reaper, I would say I'd want to get dropped. Okay, people, respond to the pinned comment. It just helps me, like, okay, I'll go through the unrelated topics first and then jump into the ones related to the topic I actually asked up top. I might come down to this one if we have top, I might not. I think a big deal with the Vin versus Kaladin, who's the better character thing, stems from the fact that most people probably don't recall the finer points of Vin's character development. That's probably true. It's been a while since Hero of Ages came out, whereas Oathbringer was just last year. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread your comment. I think the big deal with Vin versus Kaladin, and this is from Brian Wagner. Yeah, Kaladin, I read that as Kelsier, I apologize. So Hero of Ages came out a while ago, whereas Oathbringer was just released last year, a lot fresher in my mind, and I imagine on many others' minds. Okay, that's a fair point. This is also the fact that Brandon is a much better author now than when he started the Final Empire, so that probably helps make Kaladin's development feel stronger. That's a very decent point. And Kaladin is probably better written overall, but the concept of Vin I find a little bit more interesting. I don't know if the difference there stands out enough for what I'm saying, but I think execution of Kaladin was great, and I think on that merit, it is probably a little bit better overall, but I like the concept of Vin a little bit more. And I think we saw Brandon improve as a writer substantially throughout the first Mistborn era, from 1 to 2 to 3. Most notable jump being from 1 to 2. That's just my opinion. From Purdy Boy, Purtyboi, I just want to say that preservation can, in fact, see into the future to some extent. I forget how exactly, but it's site limited somewhat. I forgot in which book, but he explains that all of the shards can see into the future to some extent. Some being able to see better due to the nature of their shard. Odium, Ruin, for example, are both destructive shards, so their future sight is limited, as they are more about the now. That's really interesting. Preservation and cultivation, on the other hand, can see into the future better due to their natures being more long-term. This isn't the best explanation, mostly because I don't fully understand it myself and hope Sanderson goes into the nature of the shards more as Cosmere expands. That's a great explanation. You did it very well, and I had almost completely forgotten about that, so I appreciate you bringing that in. That's an interesting topic and leads me to have that's actually going to lead me into the question. I had a question, but I think I'm gonna go off your comment here for my question at the end, now that I'm thinking of it. This is from Titanium Tomato, and your profile picture is a tomato. Oh, this is a debate for best Cosmere commenter name right here, guys. Wow, I love that. Okay. I just forced a friend to read Mistborn for his English project. If he switches halfway through, there will be blood. I hope no crimes are ever connected to Cosmere Talk. Also, what will Era 3 of this world be like? Genetic modification to give investiture? Discovery of hundred of different metals and powers? Portal to different parts of the Cosmere? Trell is odium? The point is, I'm invested. Yes, in terms of potential, I think Mistborn Era 3 outshines almost any other in the works fantasy series right now, because Era 1 did an incredible job building the world. Era 2 did a truly outstanding job of showing this world's true potential for growth. And Era 3, with technology coming in, there's going to be borderline just limitless possibilities right and left. So that's a great point, and it's why the Cosmere, and Mistborn more specifically, is so amazing. Brandon is king of setting up potential in his books, and that's why I like Vin so much. To tie it back around. This is again from Juan Otis. This is again responding to the question I asked for the end of the episode. All right, well, I'll come back to that one at the end. Great episode, but I suppose it should be Arc, not Arch. Yes, I screwed up the title originally. I apologize. From Matthew Stormblessed, one of the people, the reason this whole show is here, you and you, Nick, have got this thing going. Anyway, how's it going, Matthew? What's your life like? You know, I'd like at least 5 paragraphs at the end of this video, letting me know every detail of your current situation in life. Don't actually do that. I'd feel really bad if you actually did that. Because I don't want you working that hard for me, but you deserve a good weekend and a nice break. It really is possible that I like Vin less because she is a woman. Good self-awareness coming through. I would like to think not, but prejudices are not easily identified. Also, you read my comment wrong. You swore when I avoided doing so directly. Oh, yeah, I remember. I think I responded to this. Sorry about that. I'll blame it on dyslexia. And really amazing self-awareness there, that we all have prejudices that maybe aren't on the surface and might just be a little bit deeper down. Matthew, you seem like a great guy, and if you're already kind of spotting these things about yourself, I can't imagine anything but a positive, incredible future for you. You're a self-aware dude, and you want to open a bar together? I'm being serious. Anyway, from RP, Skyward isn't Cosmere. It used to be, but Sanderson couldn't find a place for it. Oh, okay. The last I heard it was. So that's interesting to see that's been dropped. Then we had an exchange back and forth from Jed Tanavast versus Andrew T. Let me just skip it real quick. Oh, yeah, I remember reading this. It was kind of a debate, and these guys made some good points. I'm not going to read through it all because it's quite a bit, and honestly, my voice still kind of is like mildly mad at me for that time I read all of your comments for WoT Talk. That was like a solid hour and a half, and I even edited some of it out, so it was closer to 2 hours of me reading. But it took me a while to recover for that, so I'm going to take it a little easier on my voice from now on. But these guys had a really interesting discussion, and if you guys want to see some opinions, I go back to the last Cosmere Talk and check it on out. And now we have responses to my pinned comment. So I'm going to be going through and seeing where and why people would want to live in Cosmere. So we have one from Ryan Ratchford. Ryan, how's it going? There aren't that many safe places in Cosmere. Either there's evil gods or deadly storms. So he was saying he'd live in Warbreaker's world because everywhere else is so dangerous. And that's a very, very good point. And I didn't entirely consider that. But yeah, I can't really think of a place in Cosmere that's incredibly safe. Mistborn Era 2, I mean, it seems to have a crime problem. But I wouldn't know if I'd call that safe. It depends if you can do all the fancy magics or not. And this is from the Pocket Boy. Daddy Drax here from episode 1. Okay. How's it? Is this a new account? I'm confused. Anyway, easily I'd prefer to live in Scadrail. Era 2, of course. With the speed of advancing technology, it'd be fascinating to watch. Want me some magic medallions. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. That said, I'd love to visit Roshar to see the complexity and diversity of the world. The animal/plant life would be amazing to behold. I want to see the shattered plains, watch a battle against the cavern fiend, etc. Then go home and not die. Yeah, you're covering all the bases here. Mistborn Era 2. Ooh, popular response. I like this. All right, you have said Sazed, who is the most beloved. Mistborn. So this is from Ben McDonough. McDonough. It's McDonouh. I'm going to pronounce it Matoch. I'm not moving on. Mistborn Era 2. You have Savid, who is the most loving god of the Cosmere and near modern technology. Seems like the chillest place to me. I agree with everything you said there, except for the fact that we're near modern technology. It's Western technology, and what they lack is good medicine, and that's incredibly important in my mind. I like the fact that if I get a splinter in today's day and age, I don't have to worry about it. Whereas back in the West, it's like, oh, got a splinter, now I'm gonna get an infection and die. Cool. So any time frame that doesn't have modern medicine, at least to some degree, I don't consider modern enough for me to safely live in. Like even the 1940s, nah, I'm good. Like it was still debatable if doctors would wash their hands enough back then, and I'm a huge germaphobe. But I get what you're saying. I respect it, and we're gonna move on. So now we have Moscow. Oh man, Jesus. You guys are purposely making complicated names just to mess with my dyslexia, aren't you? Maskawanin. This might be the highest concentration of A's I've ever seen for a name. It's a beautiful name, but wow, that's a lot of A's. Maskawanin. Sure, I'm going to go with that. I'm assuming it would be without any other changes to our character. That I would choose Warbreaker, as I could financially acquire investiture as opposed to other systems, except maybe Roshar, where it's luck of the draw. Yeah, that's actually probably the best reasoning for visiting or living in the Warbreaker world, aside from just it's safer that anyone else has said. You're dealing into Cosmere, assuming you're stuck there forever. Like, I'm gonna lay down some investments. I'm gonna get involved in the magic system. I'm gonna build a world for myself. I like that. From Jake Lafrance, I would love to visit Roshar because it's by far the most fleshed out world in Cosmere. That's debatable. That's debatable, but I get what you're saying. There would be so much to learn and explore. Cell from Elantris would be a close second. Did I say that wrong? Cell? Yeah. Mainly because of the Scions. Ooh, okay, yeah. I didn't think about that either, but assuming the problems from Elantris are solved when you jump in, then yes. But if they haven't been wholly solved, you got a whole other bag of beans there. I would like to be in the Stormlight Archive. This is from... Oh, sorry. The last comment was from Jake Lafrance. Did I say that? I don't know. And the next comment's from Trent Kazinger. I would like to be in the Stormlight Archive planet because I want to see the most interesting time in the Stormlight Archive history. You are like me, my friend. We want to witness history, although I bring a lot of hand sanitizer. Okay, you guys actually are just making difficult to pronounce names to mess with me. Quixart, Quixart, Gravity. Quixart Gravity. Is that a real thing? And I'm just an ill-informed peasant? Maybe. Nathalis, you can become immortal if you reach the 5th heightening and all other benefits of the lower heightenings. Plus, you have a pretty nice cognitive realm, I hear. Okay. I'm kind of drawing a blank on what that's referencing. There's so much Cosmere. Oh, okay, that is where Warbreaker takes place. Oh, it's just... Oh, okay, yeah. All right, then that's cool. And this is from Aviv. A-V-I-V, Aviv? Okay, I'm going to go with Aviv. Nathalis, where Warbreaker takes place, stable and beautiful. Man, you guys are so concerned about danger. Live on the edge, says the guy who's afraid of germs. Stable and beautiful. It has one of the magic systems the most interesting for me. It's also very accessible. I don't has to be born to someone or wear specific or be super special to be able to use is. I already has a business idea, returning insurance for places where they are not being worshipped. Pay some money or breathe, and I will return. If you will return, we will supply you with enough breaths for a year, and you will have some time to get started with your new life. Aside from needing a glance over in terms of grammar, this was a really good comment, and I agree. Then, once again, you got someone coming with a business idea. You and the last guy need to get together, and you need to make a solid business portfolio. Give me a plan. We'll go there together, and then we start making money, hand over fist. From Rickham, my boy, how's it going? Probably Roshar. He's coming in with the thing that's been said before, but let's hear him out. Maybe he's got a new idea. And the Reshi Isles, more specifically, with the specific location makes it stand out. Good job, Rickham. I have only read the Stormlight books, so I can't really speak for any of the other worlds, but honestly, Reshi sounds like a nice tropical-esque environment with living islands. What's not to like? You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point. I like it. I dig it. Wait. Am I, did I screw up here? And I've been saying Roshar is Warbreaker, and the whole time it's not. Maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Whatever. I'm drawing such a huge blank right now, guys. It's like 5 a.m. on a Saturday, and I need to sleep more. Matthew Stormbless coming in again. How's it going, Matthew? Let's see. On Roshar, I would be a Dark Eyes and would also have to deal with high storms. It's really a cool place, but I do not think I would live there. That's a good self-awareness there, Matthew. You know what matters to you. You don't want to be in the storms. You don't want to be in second-class people. That's smart. Luckily, I'm a Light Eyes, so I can. If we went there together, I would watch out for you. You know, we'd get each other's backs. I appreciate you. All right, I don't know. I'm being weird this episode. Mistborn Era 1 would most likely likely suck really bad. You're absolutely right. I mean, ash falling from the sky could be like a ska. Okay, I could be a ska, and or have to live through the world basically ending. So that's a no-no for Era 1. Hey man, you don't want to build an ash snowman? Do you want to build an ash man? Really not sure for Elantris or Warbreaker. I don't remember a whole lot about the world building in those places. Me neither. I need to reread Warbreaker. It's been too long. I need to reread a lot of the Cosmere. That's going to be the future of Cosmere. I'm going to be rereading these books and talking about them with you guys as I reread them. Plan's been set, and we're going to keep it between us. Don't tell other people I'm not reading the books they want me to be reading and going back and I'm doing rereading, because people get very mad at me on my channel when I do rereading. So we're all going to focus on some rereads. All right, we're going to keep it on the low. All right, so just moving forward. Mistborn, okay. I'm not considering short stories or White Sands, so I guess the default is Mistborn Era 2. It seems overall a lot safer living around Elendel. Fair, and it would be very similar to today. Boring, I know, but I'd rather not die. That's not boring. Dude, you get to live in a place with lots of like shoot bangs and pew-pews. That's awesome, all right? It's not boring. Get a gun, go be a sheriff, do some shoot-shoes and bang-bangs. From Stetson Wendell, Yolan. Then I could go see if it lives up to all the expectations, or maybe Scadrial, where I could beg Harmony to make me a where I could beg Harmony to make me a ferrochemist. You know? Okay, there's two options there, but I asked you for one answer, Stetson Wendell, and you need to choose between the two. You know, I don't like this wishy-washy. No, that's actually very good answers. But being a ferrochemist is too much responsibility for me. Think about if you were a magic user, how much pressure is on you to be responsible all the time. I get so angry in traffic. If I could do even a basic magic system like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I was in traffic, people would die and I would go to jail. So I don't know about this whole let's go be magic users things, because I don't know if I can handle that responsibility. I'm trying to channel Matthew here and self-awareness. I don't know if I'm doing as good a job as he does. All right, from Ipa, one of the OGs of the channel, someone who's been killing it on the Discord server. How's it going, Ipa? Hell, also, guys, join the Discord server if you want to be a part of the conversation. First opinion would be Scadrial. Coming in. All right, good answer. I would try somehow to get one of the Laricium beads so I could become a Mistborn. All right, fair. This would be pretty dangerous, though, since I would have to get there during First Era and survive Ruin's apocalypse. This is some problems already coming in with your plan, buddy. I mean, unless you're able to somehow smuggle a gun in, then you'd have something. But I don't know how you get there without a small arsenal of modern technology. Just an opinion. Second option would be Nathalis. Okay. Nalthis. There we go. I'm so bad at saying names, even ones I know. I could acquire breath and learn to use it. Maybe it's possible I don't have enough connection to make it work. Basically, any place where I could get access to magic. He's coming with the opposite of me. You probably have a lot of self-control. I don't. Cosmere is dangerous after all. It really is. Last place where I would to be in would definitely be Threnody equals Forest of Hell. That last place, yeah, that's a good last place you'd want to be. That place is worse nightmare than pretty much anything else I've ever heard of. Clearly, you've never heard of my basement. No. I'm sorry, guys. Whenever I actually get decent night's sleep, my personality like entirely changes. I would definitely want to live in Nalthis. I fell asleep at like 7 p.m. last night, so I'm all screwed up. This is from Purdy Boy again. I would definitely want to live in Nalthis. Warbreaker was actually the last of the Cosmere books I've read so far. Haven't gotten into White Sand yet. I'm about to get into White Sand, hopefully in the near future. And I love it. In all the other books, there are a select few with investiture, and well, it makes for a power discrepancy. It would be a sucky world to live in if you weren't invested. In Warbreaker, everyone starts out with their own breath, and I love how breaths are worked in the economy. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Of Nalthis, in a way none of the other worlds have accomplished. That's true. I love how anyone can become invested and increase their power with investiture, not by lucky genetics or some spren choosing you, but by working your way up through the social structure in the world. Although it's totally possible for me to show up, do poorly, end up broke, and selling my breath in order to survive. I think with my knowledge of stuff such as mathematics and modern society/technology, assuming it translates, which it seems to, I think I can make myself useful and therefore work my way up. Wow, you guys are coming in with like legit business ideas. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start a Ponzi scheme. For those of you who don't know what that is, it basically means you take people's money, they invest with you, and you pay off any debts or people who want to buy out of your Ponzi scheme with the money from other people who invest. So you just kind of build up this house of cards until it collapses. But they don't know what it is. As far as we know, it's never happened in their world. So we're going to build a Ponzi scheme, and we're going to make a ton of money. And then we kind of buy our way out of it by just like getting second identities, cashing out, and just running away. And then we'll just be like super rich in the off somewhere villa we have in this world, and no one will ever know where we are or hear from us again. I don't know why I'm like planning us like a romantic criminal movie ending, but it's what I'm going for. So now we're going to go back to some of those comments that were answering this question down in the comments down below, because they didn't respond to my comment. So this is from Gene Otis. My problem with being dropped in any of the worlds is they all kind of suck if you don't have power. Since the world of Nalthis, Warbreaker, because the use of breaths fascinates me. See color different in a great depth would be enough for me, and you can accumulate breath without having them be born with a power. So it sounds like the best chance of actually using it. Plus, they aren't on a dying planet or in constant war. Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus. I'm more or less just ashamed that at the beginning of this video I was referring to Roshar as the Warbreaker world in my head, and I don't know if I said it out loud, but I was thinking that. But that's not the case. That is not the case. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a bad brain day. We're gonna move on though. So, all right. There's another comment here answering from the Game Reaper. Or did I already do this one? No, I did not. I would say I'd want to be dropped on Roshar, mainly due to the fact, unlike the worlds of Mistborn or Warbreaker, the magic system is easier to get access to, since all it requires is bonding a spren. Not to mention the fact I do have light-colored eyes, so I would be in the upper echelon of society. And finally, I would really love to get my own spren. It'd be very curious to see what order I would join, though I will admit the world of Warbreaker is a close second, assuming I can find a way to get a large stock of breath. So, what you just admitted is like, I want to join a world where I'm the upper echelon of Celeste. I'm on the upper. Wow. Okay. I was going to do a big like, oh, this guy wants to be in like a system where he's the high people and there's low people who are abused and like make fun of you. But then I screwed up even saying that. So I lose. I took the L there. I took the L, but I'm going to come back with a kamikaze redemption soon enough. So this is from John Mayer, no relation to the actual John Mayer, I'm assuming, coming in here. I'm going to be jumping into Cos Talk, and my answer is Silverlight. We have a new answer. Oh, interesting. Silverlight is the cognitive realm of Cosmere and the headquarters of the 17th Shard, and I feel like it'd be a cool place to live and see all sorts of different things from all the worlds. Sanderson has a novella for the city planned for some time in the future. It's also home of Chris, so he writes the Arcana Canon for every Cosmere book. Who writes the Arcana Canon for every Cosmere book? Here's the thing. We don't know enough about it, man. I think this might be the bravest answer of anyone. because we don't know about this world. You're going in a little blind here, right? Like, we haven't gotten the level of depth and detail that we've gotten from others, at least as far as I'm aware. So I respect you going in. Like, good job. That's nice. Cool. But I think you might die. All right. That's going to be this episode of Cosmere Talk, guys, because my voice is already going a little bit, and we just hit the 30-minute mark, which I believe is a fair amount. Like and subscribe if you have not already. And I bet you're wondering, what's the question for next week? Well, I actually had one prepared, but someone's comment, if you remember earlier, was so interesting, and I appreciated what they said so much that I want to change it up. All right? I want to make this a different question. I'm trying to find their comment so I can remember what it was. Hold up. I found the comment, and through the magic of editing, you didn't have to wait that long. But what my question was, is basically, what's your favorite Cosmere magic system, and why? I'm actually really interested in this because there's a lot of good answers. Brandon Sanderson has created some of the most intense magic systems that have ever been put to paper, and I'd like you to treat it like a bit of a debate. Defend which one is your favorite with some, okay, this is why it's better than the rest. And next episode, I will go through them and talk about which one is the coolest magic system. And I'll give you my answer, which I should also probably give you my answer of where I would live in Cosmere. And if you haven't, I think I already said it actually. Yeah, Mistborn Era 2, I'd want to be up in there. I would just pack a lot of hand sanitizer and like wet ones and soap and stuff, and I would just start preaching modern medicine the best I could. Even though I'm not trained in it, I feel like I could at least encourage basic best practices and do enough research to actually kind of prove my point. That would be my entrance into Cosmere. I hope you guys enjoyed this Cos Talk. Like and subscribe if you have not already, even though I already said that. Hit the Patreon if you want to support the channel and what I do here. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.